This is a European green crab, and these are the most invasive species in marine ecosystems. This species is native to Europe and North Africa, but they made their way to the US by clinging onto shipping vessels. You can now find these on the east and west coast of America. In just 1 year, the population can grow up to 30 times. When they dig for protection, they destroy eelgrass, which makes up nursing habitats for commercial species like clams and salmon. They also outcompete the popular Dungeness crab. The most common reason why these crabs are not eaten is because of their small size and dense shell. The chefs I've seen crush these crabs whole and use the deep flavor for soups and stock, but they don't try to harvest any of the meat. I got 2 3-pound bags of green crabs from Wolf's Fish. I'm gonna be making 3 dishes today to try to get the most yield out of the crab with the least amount of work. The first thing I'm gonna be making is a Cajun crab boil. We're gonna be cooking these crabs whole and trying a few different methods to extract the meat.
When the crabs arrived, I was disappointed they were so small. In all the videos I've seen, they always look a lot bigger, and personally, I would be happy with a 4-incher. But if this is the average size, it makes this experiment more realistic. I'm still determined to find a way to get to that meat. I've never cooked with lime leaves before, but my uncle uses it for his crawfish recipe. After the sausage and potatoes cooked with it, you could taste this fruity aroma that added another layer of complexity.
Tastes like a Cajun fruity pebble. They're starting to float to the top. We're gonna kill the heat and let it soak. The first method I'm gonna try is rolling out the meat like Gordon Ramsay did with a lobster leg. I don't have a rolling pin, but I do got this 32. Oh, it worked! That little string of meat right there is what got squeezed out.
If you roll out the legs, maybe a bunch at the same time, you could get a small amount of meat, but not significant enough for the labor you put in.
I think the next thing is the harmonica. We're gonna pop these knuckles off. And that did not work.
I tried to blow out one leg at a time with no success. I also tried to push it out with the chopstick, but the meat just got smushed inside. On to the next dish, we're making ginger scallion crab. I chose this because of 2 reasons. The crabs have a strong flavor, so if the mustard can make a good sauce, it could be used in more applications. The second is because in shrimp tempura, the tail gets left on, and I usually eat it because it's brittle and has a toasted flavor after it's fried. I toss the crabs in cornstarch so the sauce has something to stick to. Here's my biggest mistake, putting the crabs back in. The sauce was delicious, but the crab is basically inedible except for the legs.
Here's the leg. We're gonna see if frying made a difference to the texture of the shell.
They became brittle and didn't feel grainy enough to spit out like the other parts of the shell. The juice from the head was really salty, so I wouldn't recommend eating it.
It's almost 4 a.m. now. Gonna catch you with the next dish tomorrow.
After reflecting on day 1's experiments, the best way to use the head is for a sauce by infusing the oil with mustard. As for the meat, I haven't found a sufficient method to pick it from the shell. We can, however, just eat the shell if we fry the legs. Fries are a food most people are familiar with, so I'm gonna make crab leg fries with a mustard mayo. The stock I honestly didn't know what to do with, so we'll worry about it later. This was my first time ever making mayo, and it turned out really well. I put it in this bag so I could imitate a squeeze bottle.
Green crab leg fries.
After eating the crab legs, there were 2 problems. First, the claws were too dense to enjoy. Second, I should have snipped the tips off the legs because they were really sharp. The mayo was good, but I think if I used less crabs, it would have been better. The flavor was way too funky for me. Overall, I'd say this is the best application for the legs. I was honestly really burned out from cooking, so I used this stock for ramen and it had that deep crab flavor, but I wasn't a big fan. Maybe if I added some more aromatics, it would have made a better stock. This was a very interesting experiment and I still have half a bag of crabs. I want to know what you guys would make with it. Is there some other ways to get the meat? Is there a soup you think would be great with this ingredient? Comment your suggestions and I'll make another video with my favorite ideas.
If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel. I have another really interesting video coming next week. Thanks for watching.